Okay, so what I got is a 2013 Toyota Corolla. I will be replacing the driver's side headlight. This whole assembly, as you can see, it has some wear and tears as well as little tiny cracks. The owner of this vehicle had the passenger side replaced, and so he wants to actually have the driver's side as well as replaced. So it looks about as equally as brand new as possible. For now, I have removed this grommet that sits on top. It's very simple and easy. It's plastic, so you just need four different tools. A clip, actually a clip remover. It looks just like this. I prefer to use these. These are more sturdy compared to the plastic ones. Phillip Screwdriver, socket with extension, and a 10mm socket, as well as a flathead. Try to get the thinnest flathead as you can as possible, because you will be removing a certain clip which is on the bumper. This is basically what it is. You want to get the flathead in between this section and the screwdriver to remove this, loosen it up. Otherwise, it is very difficult to remove due to the fact that it has a lot of dirt surrounding the area and makes it hard to remove. So once you do that, you apply a little bit of pressure as you're pushing it out and you unscrew it. So lefty loosey as always. Depending on the vehicle, most vehicles actually it's all machines that require you to turn right to loosen it. This clip actually came off of this area right over here. So once you get that off, it's very simple. You push this one outwards. There's nothing really holding it in place. It does have a little flathead looking design on it which you can turn, but no, it's not necessary because it just clips onto here. You just basically push it outwards. Use one of your retainer removal clips. Just push it outwards, take it out. Once you get to this area, all you basically do is just pull it out. Do be very careful, because then you do not want to break any areas in between this plastic and the bumper retaining clip that is actually attached to the fender. Once you get that out, very simple, easy. You also have to remove this as well, which just requires you to use a Phillips head screwdriver, and as well as this 10mm bolt socket. So once you get those out, you will see another bolt which is just right there. You need to remove that as well, and then because then that bolt is also attached to this area. So that's the only bolts that you have that's attached to the headlight. So 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Once you get to that, actually the other bolt, sorry, I misjudged that. There's actually another bolt right under this. Let me take it out and show you guys how to get to that. So one thing about this, it is very difficult to remove. It's on there very tight, so you want to use some mechanics glove, something that gives you a lot of grip. So you want to twist and turn, as well as applying a lot of pressure. Be very careful that you apply pressure downwards as you turn, because if you do not, you will definitely strip out that bolt. It's on there very tight, so once you get it loose and off, it's very simple after that. So one hard turn. Didn't know Toyota actually make this very hard. Alright, so it comes off. Looks just like this. So you want to set it down with the rest of the bolt that you have, which is right over there. So once you do that, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. There is the other bolt, where is it? Right there. So that bolt is actually attached onto the top of this headlight right here. Okay, so the rest of that, as it follows, there are two 10mm bolts right over here. So one is there. You don't know how to remove these two, because it's definitely just attached to this the splash guard, so you don't have to remove it. The other one is right over here. It is a little bit rusted, but just those two. Once you get those two out, you can actually pry this bumper outwards a little bit more, so it makes it a little easier to remove. But if it does become a little bit more difficult, do remove some more bolts, which is this and from this area, and another one down there. Once you get those two loose, 4 bolts loose, you can actually pull out the bumper out more. Let's get to that. Okay, so took out the 2 bolts that's on top. So it's basically loose from the top and then from the bottom. I would suggest wearing some goggles, safety goggles, as necessary, because then once you're loosening these up, there are some dirt and debris that actually fly out. That way it just protects you from your eyes, and you don't have to actually have an irritated eye while trying to replace this headlight. So it's very simple, easy, so I can just get to that easily. Just pull that to the side and it just comes off. What I'm going to try to work on first is taking that off. Okay, so it is a little bit harder to remove the front bumper, so I took off a little bit more bolt as well as a retainer clip. So I took off this clip off of here from the center hinge, and as well as these this other bolt right here. I just placed it right there, so I know exactly where it goes. So it's a little bit more looser than compared to before. There is another bolt right inside that is being held under, but don't worry about it. It's not that hard to remove now. So I removed that bolt out of there, and it's pretty easy. You just slide it out. So once you get this out, also it becomes a little bit easier. But if you are having more difficulties, just remove the whole entire front bumper, so it makes it more easier for you to do your job. So the headlight is a little bit sturdy on there, so you want to use your little clip removal and then apply a little bit of pressure. Do not apply too much pressure that you will break this. Even though you are replacing it, I mean, it doesn't technically matter, but if you plan on just still keeping this just in case as a spare headlight for future means, just apply a little bit of pressure, lift up and then slowly and pull out. It's very simple. After that, so once it's loose, it's definitely loose. So it looks like it is a little bit more harder since I don't have extra set of hands to help me out. So I will be removing the bumper due to the fact that the headlight is actually in there a little bit more, and I don't have an extra set of hands to help me out. So if you do have a friend or somebody that you can trust to help you work on the vehicle, definitely ask for the help. Otherwise, you do have to remove this whole front bumper and to be able to take this out. So let's get to that process. So I think there's another way to actually remove more of this bumper. There is a retainer clip right underneath. You probably can't see, so it's basically this one right here. So once you remove that, let's see. Once you remove that, it should become a little bit more loose. Pop it out. You can actually take it out through there, and it comes off more. That way you don't have to remove the whole entire bumper. That way it gives you more space and room to leave with. That way it comes off. Okay, so I removed most of the sockets from the headlights. I still got 2 more to go from the high beam and the turn signal. But there is another retaining clip right there that's actually this portion is attached to. So I removed it. What I did is I lifted up that metal clip upwards. Don't worry, you won't break it. Once you lift it up, you'll be able to loosen this freely. So once I did that, it's free to go. Once you get the installation back in, you just basically push it back down, push that clip back down, and that's it. It's actually very simple. So let me finish this project so that way you guys can see the before and after. Okay, so that's the old one and that's the new one. Check it out. I just left these 2 lights on bulbs. It makes no sense to actually remove it. I did remove the high beam and left the bulbs inside the headlight. What I'm gonna do is just take them off and put them onto the new ones. I could do the same with this, but I'm just gonna leave it there. It makes no point on taking it out and giving me extra work to do. So a good thing about these new assemblies is that they do give you these sockets just in case your old ones, your existing ones are damaged. Just remove them This one's a little bit harder to take out. The only reason is the fact that it's on there tight. Okay, so I'm probably gonna use one of my mechanics gloves to loosen it up. And it's not working. Okay, so if that method doesn't work, then you want to get pliers. So I'm gonna grab some pliers real quick and see if that helps. Okay, so I got some pliers, and that's basically it. Very simple and easy. So same thing with these sexual covers. These are covers. These are not replacement. It's just to cover the headlight portions to keep them from getting damaged. So as you can tell, of course you start with one bulb first. You don't want to remove both just in case you place them in the wrong spot. But either than that, you don't have to worry. It just makes this job a lot easier to do when you do one bulb at a time. So they have some rubber garments inside, so it is a little difficult. Just wiggle it out, place them in the same position as how you removed it, and you twist and turn. Twist enough to where it's set in place and it's not going to come off. So with this portion, and you just wiggle it up as you go. These have been set in place for a very long time, so they become a little bit harder to take out compared to when you put them into the new assembly. They are very easy to put in. That's it. So there's nothing left on here for me to remove. Everything's on, same as this headlight clip. It's also right there. So that's about it. So you can just set this on the ground, anywhere safe that you prefer. And you want to get the new headlight, and then we can go into the installation. I would suggest that you keep the plastic on just as a reference to keep it from getting scratched. So I wish I had a set of hands. I still haven't opened up. Actually, I opened up my Hero 8. Just haven't decided to use it yet. It's a little bit more extra work compared to just using your cell phone. So let me get to the installation. Okay, so I got the headlight in. Did take some time, but it's very simple and easy. I'd say this will take you about an hour or so, even if it's your first time. That is definitely not that hard to do. The old one's there, brand new one's there. So you can see they're both actually new now. Well, technically this is brand new since it's been installed today. That one's been there. I'm not exactly sure when the owner had that replaced, so give it a year or so. That's it. I mean, it's very simple once you put everything back in place and you're done. I plugged everything basically in. I just got to put the bumper back on, and that's it. That's how you replace a headlight on Toyota Corolla. So it's vice versa. Same if you were to do it on the other side. There is different variants of a room. So I would say you got more room on that side, but depends on the exact person. It's definitely not that difficult to do. So good luck and enjoy.